It's round 11 of the Benspoke John Ident Cup. We are at ANU North Oval, affectionately known as the Barn. It is Pacifica Day at ANU North, where we're celebrating all the wonderful cultures around the Pacific, and there's many that play for the Owls. The teams today, of course, the Owls are running up against the Canberra Royals, who are flying high on top of the ladder. They're almost double the points of the Owls. However, the Owls have broken into the top four for the first time this year. Last week, the Owls were buoyed after their wonderful gritty win against Gungahlin Eagles, and Royals had a good win also against a brave Queanbeyan Whites visiting Phillip Enclosed. Players to watch today, I was looking forward to for Ao Fotuaika, but he's got a late injury and he's not playing today, so he was going to be opposite side of the scrum to Reese Van Neck. The number 10 opposing players of Chase Oates and Sam Toa will be fantastic, as both are in wonderful, wonderful form. Chase Oates making the Works For You Team of the Week, and Sam Toa has done that regularly. Another player that I'm very interested in is Tom Barrett, who it's his run-on debut for the Canberra Royals, and wish him all the best. Alongside me will be Finley Doyle, and the weather today is absolutely sparkling. Out come the Royals, led by their captain, Lincoln Smith, and I believe the centre pairing of Lincoln Smith and Jarrah McLeod might be too powerful for the likes of Lei Tuolungi, who's also had a very strong year, and Patrick Callaghan. But time will tell. Owls looking fantastic in their Pacifica strip, and the Canberra Royals out there in their traditional blue. Thanks for your company. My name's Dave Reeson. We're about to get underway at ANU North, and a wonderful, wonderful day weather-wise, Pacifica Day. And we've got some special treats, Brumby-wise. Caden Neville's out there. Reese Van Neck, I've mentioned already. Liam Bowron. That's all aside, because we are up and under, and Royals are taking it away from their 22 and met pretty heavily in good contact right on the 22 by a neat line of white wall Owls. Royals just looking to get it out and exit well, and they'll do that off the boot of Chase Oates. And a good clearance to start. Finley Doyle, welcome to the call. How do you see this game, particularly after an excellent win to the Owls last week? Will they repeat the effort? And if so, how will they go about their business today to win this game?
I hope so. It'll be a tough game today. Obviously, Royals probably the competition leaders in the John Ident.
That's a sneaky throw down the left-hand side, and the Owls are screaming towards their try line. Wonderful little set piece. Robertson out to Van Neck, who buries his nose and goes to work. Second effort for the Owls. Neville looking to pick it up. They've got an advantage. Bowron picks it up. The referee is spied a little knock on. We're going to get our first taste of a scrum today. Van Neck packing up against Bundy. That's a real wonderful one to watch. And Madison against Heffernan. A couple of young bucks butting antlers.
Yeah, no, handy to have a couple of Brumbies in the pack today, especially with Caden packing in behind, knowing for his set piece in the 2 rows. So,
yeah, the combination of Neville and Mickelson, captain of the Owls, will be pretty dynamic and destructive. You'd think McPherson shifted slightly from his usual spot, but just also Joe Colo, the coach from the Royals, has shifted his pack around. But let's get back to the game. Owls looking to go forward in their centre field here. Nice clear out from Mickelson, holding that ball in. McPherson rolling to the right. Mickelson again. That's a good leg drive. Owls shaping up, one off. Another advantage is the call. They're over the Owls, they're over the line, but they're held up. Good option to go for the line for the Owls with a little sneaky penalty advantage. I'll come back to the set piece off the short line out. Clever play and exploited the left-hand flank there.
Yeah, absolutely. Toby and Chris, they're going down the short side. Obviously, worked that one up throughout the week.
We have a couple of Owl dynamic busters coming off the bench. Number 1, Miller Pelasasa. He'll get a sneaky run in the second half, as will Jack Debrasini. There'll be a bit of a shuffle around the back line, I believe. Mr. Debrasini will go to 10 and Toa will head out to 12.
Yep. No, definitely.
Is the call.
Handy to have them on the pine.
Scrum's gone down. They're looking to get it out and to the right. We see a crash ball to Tuolangi. They're swarming harder, the Owls, looking pretty dangerous. Another advantage, that's the third penalty advantage to the Owls. Looking to go left. Toa, quick ball. Thompson getting it on. Crozier for the corner. Charlie Crozier. That's just pressure, wave after wave, penalty after penalty, and just broke the wall of blue. Wide open.
No, very handy start there by the Owls. Good stuff by the Piggies up front, in tight. Great carry from Tuolangi. And then a great shift out to the left and a really good finish in the corner by Charlie, the Worm Crozier.
Let's get through the team list. We'll start with the hosts. Number 1, Zeb Madison. Number 2, Chris Mickelson. 3, Reece Van Neck. Caden Neville will be playing in the number 4 jersey, and Sam Mickelson, the captain of Uni North, is playing in the V. Number 6, Toby McPherson and Dylan Shalita will be in 7. Rounding out the forward pack for the Owls is James or Jimmy Plowman. A school teacher in his spare time. Mr. Plowman is a pretty popular character too amongst the students, I understand.
Yeah, I'd imagine he would be.
Ben Robertson, number 9, paired up with Sam Toa, who kicks this one towards goals, and it's clattered off the left-hand upright. Score remains 5-0 to the hosts. Charlie Crozier is in 11, the nice little worm, did you call him?
Yeah, that's his nickname, the Worm Crozier. There's not much to him.
Izzy Bailey, there is a bit to him. He's in the other wing. He's in the 14 jersey, and he's forced his way back into the starting 15 from the second grade. He's played a bit of second grade this year. But good start to the Owls. Overkicked and swarmed on it is the captain of the Royals. That's Lincoln Smith. Misjudge on the kick return. Now it's squirted out the other way. Tuolangi puts that towards the line. They're chasing hard. That's Vaili putting the pump under, and he's lost it forward. Vaili's hunting that down, and gee, I thought that would have gone the other way.
Me both.
Good chase, Ilivaili. Good heads-up football from Tuolangi.
Yep. Now, handy kick in behind there and a great chase by Issy Vaili. Yeah, potentially maybe got away with one there, Royals. I thought he might have been on the ground playing that, but good cover up by the winger there.
Yeah, I thought Bailey had his hands on it and had a nice position, kept his feet. Let's finish the Owls pack. Jordan Thompson in 15. Good to see him back. And the centre pairing at 12-13, Patrick Callaghan and Le'i Tuolangi. Ball loose, and McPherson leaves that one behind cleverly because he was being barrelled out by Nelson. But barrelled out is the call eventually. Zeb Madison getting some pats on the back from his teammates. Let's have a quick squiz at the Royals pack. James Bundy 1, Liam Bauer on 2. Number 3, late inclusion into the side, but definitely not a one that we're not familiar with, Sam Heffernan. Brendan Gorladek is in 4. Tom Isles 5. Watch him in the line, as is Spencer Scott, number 6. Tom Barrett, run on debut for Tom Barrett. He's forced his way into this first grade squad after a couple of seasons in second grade. So congratulations once again to Mr. Barrett. And he's the power player of the week. Jarrah McLeod getting monstered by an Owls trio of tacklers. Gorladek working his way, and Nelson. Chase Oates, wonderful ball. Cheeky little inside ball. That's the worm going down, but he's lost it behind. Loose and available. McAnally had his eyes on that. That's the number 11 for the Canberra Royals, who got that wonderful pass from Chase Oates, who's in fantastic form.
Yeah, that was
Chase
a lovely
Oates.
peel out to the winger there.
Darcy Fogarty is in 8. He will be one that Liam Bauer will be targeting heavily in the line-out today. Number 9 is Dan Nelson, and Chase Oates, we've just spoken about him. Jarrah McLeod is 12 with Lincoln Smith 13. Caleb Piper is on the wing, number 14, with Paddy McAnally 11. And Sam Myberg is in 15. Scrum down with Nelson feathering this ball in, a strong push from the Owls. McAnally to McLeod. Fogarty cut down. Nice good tackle there by Tuolungi. Smith a little bit isolated. Good bootlacer there from Plowman. Fogarty. That's Mickelson putting a stinger on, a little bit high as the call. Advantage goes to the Canberra Royals. Nelson sniffing out for it. Shalidas tried to pinch that, but not onside. We're coming back to the original penalty. And Canberra Royals are there. That'll give us a moment to get around the grounds.
Yeah, thank you. We've got West up with an early lead over Queanbeyan, 7-0. Tries to Pisu, the hooker. And good start by the Eagles against Tuggeranong, 12-0 to them. Tries to Matt Clifton and Alec Corcoran.
Finley Doyle, this particular season, I'll come back in a second after this throw, but this particular season is absolutely full of surprises for me. Great throw from Bowron. Royals going to work here. Bowron has it, and they're pushing towards the posts. It's sheared off. They're still holding the bind, though. It's collapsed into a heap now. Nelson finding for it, fighting for it. McLeod clatters into the line and clatters into a hard shoulder of an Owl defender. Royals lining up. Heffernan. Centre field they are. Looking to come left. They need it quick. Good clean out. Good counter rucking. Wonderful counter rucking from the Owls.
Yeah, good defensive hold there by the Owls. Multi-phase attack by the Royals. It was pretty direct, one-dimensional, but yeah, good to see the Owls getting up, putting a shoulder on. And nice pressure at the breakdown there. Not sure who it was, but obviously put a bit of pressure back on the Royals 9.
I believe it was Mickelson. One of them.
Right? Yeah.
High percentage of getting that one right. I'll get back to around the grounds, Finn Doyle, and West's in front. I'll comment first of all, Wests have only won one game this season. But look at the lineup. O'Donnell, Anderson, Meredith, Pisu has now scored 11 tries. We've got 2 Drua players in Fukalo Carlo and Samu Vaudrey as well. That's a tidy lineup.
Very handy. I was looking at the team list this morning, and I reckon they'll give Queanbeyan a very good run for their money today.
Essentially, beware of the wounded lion as the Owls work their way out through a scything kick from Sam Toa. Batted back in very cleverly by Caleb Piper. Myberg goes on to the other winger, McAnally. Good kick, and Thompson returns the favour off his left. It's Myberg, safe under that one to Oates. He'll look to find McLeod. No, he's shipped over the top, and it's knocked down. Oates on, it's just gone forward, not just forward. That's significantly forward.
Good opportunity here for the Outs to get a bit of more field position, and another nice kick chase and a great exit by Sam Toa there to get out of our own end. So
yeah, that kick would have travelled, good 55 metres. Yeah. And clever from Caleb Piper to keep it in, but it's basically back to where the kick was.
Absolutely.
Momentarily ago. It's Mickelson, the captain, getting that one down, disrupting Tuolangi on to Plowman. Gets away from a high shot from Smith, ducks under that one. Robertson on. Toa, good hands, Van Neck. Va'ili cleverly left that one behind. On the toe is Mickelson. Good on to McPherson. A bit scatty is the play.
There's plenty happening here. It's a pretty long advantage too. But
Tom Isles has called for medical assistance.
I think he copped a stray boot to the face.
There's Piper down as well. Yeah, Isles is...
I can see a bit of claret.
There's a lot of claret coming from T. Isles' dial.
Good attack though by the Owls. Found a bit of space on the right edge here. Nice bump out the back to Sammy. Quick hands on from Van Neck as well. Now
yeah, good from Va'ili to leave that ball fly past him. Just dropped his hands like a good opening bat, didn't he? Just
wait on.
And very good from Chris Mickelson and on to Toby McPherson. Owls creating a bit of havoc down both flanks, left and right today, and hold the lead.
A bit of time off here for the two Roys. Add to it down.
So, yeah, look, back to that conversation about the West's lineup. We've got Ben O'Donnell playing, Austin Anderson, Declan Merritt. There's three Brumby players. Yolo Pissu's just scoring tries for fun. Then you've got the two Drua players. Very handy lineup against a Queanbeyan side that got hit by massive injuries last week against the Royals. We had Zane Merrill exit the paddock prior to the game. But let's get back to the Owls. Game here is Callaghan driving towards the line. Owls getting structured very beautifully. Uninorth Owls have done the right and left jab to the jaw of Canberra Royals. They are up 10-0.
Yep, great carry from the 12, Paddy Callaghan there. Front foot footy. Found a weak shoulder, nearly went through himself and scored it, but quick footy, quick recycle, able to crash over there. Great start by the Owls.
Well, we got 10-0 at the barn, which is a surprise to me. If we look at the ladder, and I said the top of the call, the Royals pack are almost double the points of the Owls, but that means nothing in the scheme of today's game. What about the other games? What do we have?
Yeah, West are up 12-7. Try to, already been mentioned, Ben O'Donnell, and try to Nate Carroll there for the Whites. And 14, converted try, 14-0. Eagles up over Tuggeranong.
Well, let's look at the ladder as the players come back to the halfway line. Royals are well in front on 40 points. Queanbeyan, who are a little bit injury depleted this week and last week, certainly, 30 points, 10 points behind the ladder leaders. Tuggeranong Vikings on 29. The Owls in fourth place, 21. Then we have Gungahlin and Wests both on 17 points.
Yeah, the win last week from the Owls over bonus point over Eagles propels them into fourth, into the top four. So fingers crossed we can maintain that and build from there.
Well, a win today will put you out of the bottom two, touch of the bottom two at least. Fogarty will have something to say about that as he drives towards the left edge. This is Scott. Oates met heavily. That's Tuolungi defending very well today. It's Plowman over the top looking for a jackal and a good counter. Nelson short side again to Oates. Oates sides his way, all not even touched. Chase Oates into the corner.
Opened up there on the short side. Did the Owls D-line. Showed a good turn of pace, though, did Chase Oates to split that and go over in the corner. So good response by Royals there.
Well, the defensive line was almost redundant in that aspect. I don't know who was marking up on Chase Oates, but whoever it was, they've just disappeared completely. Oates, I think, didn't believe what had opened up in front of him. He just a clear passage to the line. Good strike back from the visitors. 12-5 with a kick to come. And if you want to kick from the sideline, that is very sideline.
About as far out as it gets.
Chase Oates strikes this one, and it's floating towards goals. That's magnificent.
Yeah, that's a cracker. Nice little fade off the left post there.
12-7.
Good response from Royals. See if they can build off this.
Jordan Thompson hacks that one down into the sun. Callahan's grip and the try scorer and the goal kicker. Chase Oates punts that one to the 10. Chris Mickelson looking to throw. Looking for a target, and he finds Mickelson the second. Good hard running line. Plowman holding that up and monstered from behind. Tackler was McLeod. McLeod came from the clouds, didn't he?
Yeah, it came from out the back there. With a very dominant shot on Dylan Chalita, but I think might have been a substitute there for Royals over the ball with the jackal. Josh Mybra.
Liam Bowron puts the ball in, and good disruption from Mickelson, but Bowron gets it back into play for McLeod to have a crack at the line. They get all the way down to the 22. This is the new man, Tom Barrett, having a crack at the defence. Ball's loose. They're all asking whose is it. Brendan Gorladek just picks it up and goes forward. Nelson, McLeod, in and away. McLeod, more metres gained. Trickles that back to Nelson, and Bundy. Met well by Neville. Advantage to the Royals. Scott.
Yeah, high tackle there from Neville, I think. Pretty hard for the big fella to get low. Wasn't much in it, but
He'd have to be on his stomach to tackle James Bundy, I think.
so, yeah.
Below the sternum.
Gift 3 points. They're turning down here, the Royals, and going to the corner.
That is tight over the corner post.
Just in.
I'm saying half a metre at best.
If that, yeah.
If you were watching on Bar TV, you would have seen right down the camera of our wonderful technician, Justin Kampowski. You would have tracked that one all the way. 20 minutes to go, lost ball, and that is hacked away by McPherson to empty paddock. That's a wicked kick and a wicked bounce. Toby McPherson is booted that, I'm going to say, about 75 metres.
Yeah. Absolute nudge on Big Tobes there. Big Torp coming out of it too. Gets a nice roll. Get out of jail there. Royalies with the gamble. Kick to the corner. Couldn't execute at the line out.
I'm going to suggest McPherson didn't play for that one. He just wanted to put that on the boot and hope for the best. But, gee, it turned out very well.
Hear about that one all week.
Fogarty, up strong and well. Dependables, Darcy Fogarty. That's McPherson and Van Neck. That's Plowman, pardon me, getting the pats.
I'm actually not too sure what that was for, but not going to argue it as an Ours fan.
Thompson doesn't flirt with the corner post as Oates did. And we're up the other end of the field, Finley Doyle, where the Royals let one slip, and it could be a big error. If it is, Plowman brings that one down. You can see the ball coming available. They're starting to work forward. Uni North's ball's gone to ground. It's collapsed down.
A good maul day by Royals there. Able to sack that and get the scrum on their own 5.
Captain Sam Mickelson just questioning that sack. Nothing doing though. Scrum time with the Royals feed. The Owls still in front, 12-7. Tom Isles making his way back to the sideline after they've staunched that heavy flow of blood that was pouring out of his beak. Nelson onto McLeod. In and away, McLeod busting the line. Once again, he's up on his feet and trying. Oates in behind, Toa. Toa takes on Myberg. Myberg equal to that one. They're going short side. Robertson in and away. Nelson looks for the strip, gets it. Liam Bowron puts it onto the toe back towards his own line, and it's free and available for the Owls, and they're coming swarming in.
Looks like Royals have got it. Bounced around like a pinball there.
It's almost an inscrutable decision from Liam Bowron to put that on the toe back towards his own try line.
Great D.
Finley Doyle, there was a lot in that to call, but I'll come back to the Bowron decision to toe poke it towards.
Yeah, probably want his time again there with Liam Bowron. Probably just fall on the footy, recompose themselves and get out of and form an exit from that. But
I'm trying to understand the decision making. There was no one deep in his in goal to kick back to, or was he just a bit confused about the direction he was facing? I don't know.
Not too sure. Have to check the tapes. Maybe cop a head knock. good opportunity here for the Owls to have a good scrum, play off a good platform, have a good set piece, have a launch at the Royals here and try and get over the line again.
It's been good footy today.
It's been really good, yeah.
Both sides,
Yeah.
some high quality stuff, good defence. Some good hard ball running. Jaron McLeod being at the forefront of that.
Yeah, he's been doing that all year. As the Big 12.
Owls looking to really put the foot down on this scrum. Robertson looking up and around at all the options. There's a set piece coming. We're going to pack down again. Got Sam Toa lurking with Callaghan just off his right shoulder, and just off his right shoulder is Tuolangi. On the left side we've got Thompson and the worm Crozier looking to noodle his way over. Which way will they go? Into the right to Toa. Tuolangi, good ball. Nearly just out in front of him.
He's definitely on.
That was the play. They broke it open.
Yeah, good overs line from Tuolangi there. Got on the outside, we had Izzy unmarked. Would have been in the corner. Just couldn't execute.
Just an errant pass is the last one from Tuolangi. Otherwise, that is try time to Izzy Va'ili in the corner.
Absolutely.
Bauer on for the Canberra Royals, the Blue Baggers. Marching towards him slowly, Fogarty. Up and strong, Nelson. Good ball. That's Piper.
Playing the man in the air there, I think, from Toby McPherson. Relieves a little bit of pressure for Royals.
Just on 11 minutes to go, give or take. Toa, clever. Spears it across to Callaghan. Thompson. Space available to Crozier. It's been brought down by McAnally. Robertson on, looking for the workers of Plowman. Drilling into the line. Toa on, Mickelson, short ball. Madison marching on hard over the 22. Robertson looking for the inside ball, finding Tuolangi, and James Bundy bounces him away. Toa, Plowman just drops that one cold. He had it looked up and then put it down.
Yeah. Had it, lost it, had it again and lost it. Good carry from Big Zeb. Madison, nice tip onto the extra man there on the forward pod. Looking very well structured. Ours definitely more improved over the last month or so.
Yeah, they're looking very good today.
Last time I was on the mic here with you, we were pulling our hair out and kind of beat ourselves against Gungahlin.
Yeah, let that one slip a little bit.
Definitely, yeah. But definitely more composed and executing a lot better.
That's Zeb Madison down. Getting a sip of water and a quick sip of oxygen into the lungs as well after that barnstorming 5 metres that he put on moments ago.
He's sucking it in now, Big Zeb.
Now, we spoke about injuries going around at Whites and Wests. Owls are no stranger to that as well. We've got Tuati Chansung, who's been out for a while. Josh Reese is out for probably 6 to 8. the doctors reckon. He reckons about 4.
Yeah, 4 days if it was up to him, I reckon.
Nelson in for the Blue Bags. Big scrum from the Owls. Blew all the way through the visitors. And the whole back line has come in to give Pats absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, great scrum there. Van Neck getting one up over Bundy. Another opportunity for the Owls to more than likely have a roll in ball and see if they can get one over in just before half time here.
Owls up, good catch. Bringing it down, 7 metres out. Looking to go to work. Holding their structure, Mickelson to Alungi. Yes, they're in. Owls have got another one on the board. That's 3 just before half time for the Union North Owls.
Great ball. You could tell even moments before Chris actually put that down that he was going in. Great set. Ripped back. Weathered the initial hit from Royals and really well executed maul there by the pack.
Tuolungi came racing in to help out on the right-hand edge to help just get Mickelson over the line.
Yeah, a bit extra manpower never hurt.
Sam Toa, who is currently second in the Ben Spoke John Ident leading points scoring ladder on 75 points. He's sailed 1 over today and he might get another one here. He's chasing down the ladder leader Cullen Cooper-Jones on 91. Toa, splendid. I think for anyone to beat Cooper-Jones to this particular title, he'll need to go down injured for the rest of the season, I think, Cooper-Jones.
Yeah, I think Sammy might need a few 5-pointers as well.
Uela from the Wests club, who's scored today already, you've mentioned Finn Doyle, is now on 60 points as a number 2. It reminds me of Sam Thomas from the Vikings a couple of years ago, scoring a barrage of tries. Another kick restart gone down from the Owls club, though. Here's Heffernan. Ball's loose and Plowman's come through.
It's two kickoffs not taken cleanly by the Owls after points and just inviting Royals back into their own half and inviting pressure. So no doubt Coach Crichton will be looking to rectify that at half time.
What's the kind of message for that, fellas? Do better.
I don't really know.
Catch the ball. Bower on up, and that's Isles. Royals looking to punch this one back through the middle of this white wall. It's being shoved backwards. Good from the Owls. They're down, and that's wonderful defence. Right on their 5. That's the Union North Owls really going to work, and Coach Crichton's putting some notes in his book apart from some goal restarts, obviously some good goal line D as well.
Great maul D by the Owls pack there. Pushed Royals back and then managed to get a sack and unplayable, meaning an Owls scrum. So we'll look to exit here cleanly and get the ball back into the half of the Royals.
Scrum down here, and after the exit clears, we'll get around the grounds, but we're watching Roberton get this one in. He'll be looking for the boot of Crozier or Thompson. Probably Thompson's the better of those two, but the penalty has gone the other way.
Not 100% sure what that was for. Obviously, the Owls are marching forward, but I'm a halfback, so I'll probably stay out of that.
You mentioned invitations. They are dishing them out by the bucket load, are the Owls. Opportunity after opportunity which you cannot give to a team that is on top of. Ben spoke, John Ident Cup ladder, Bauer on, looking to go to the right-hand side. It's being held up. Good strong D. They're just inching forward, the Blue Baggers. Nelson has his hands on it, onto Smith. Smith barreled over by Callaghan and Tuolungi. Good combination and over the ball. That's Reese Van Neck.
Yeah, big pilfer by Van Neck there. That'll relieve a lot of pressure. Jordan Thompson will park this one into up towards halfway.
Hopefully up towards O'Sullivan's Creek he can put it, but let's get around the grounds. Finn Doyle, what do we have? As we have the score at ANU North, 19 to the Owls over the visiting Canberra Royals, 7.
Yeah, West are continuing on strongly, 29-7 over Queanbeyan at the moment. 2 tries to Dylan Breton and 1 to Brian Kiley.
Dylan Breton's been in excellent form this year. Colty that's come up through the ranks, and he's an imposing figure, Mr. Breton too, as a young fella.
Doing very well, and Eagles continuing their lead over Vikings, 28-17. Lachlan Noss-Lonigan with a double for the Vikes.
And there's another Brumby playing local club footy, which is fantastic to see. Good kick chase coming down from Crozier, but McAnally darts his way back centre field onto Oates, and here's McLeod. He'll get that back inside to the captain, Smith. Smith holds his feet back to McAnally. Wonderful ball to Nelson. Royals rumbling forward. Bowron gives it back to the trailing Plowman. Liam Bowron looked up and just saw a figure and gave it to him, and Plowman just let it fly past him into touch.
Yeah. Probably got away with one there to the Owls. I think Bowron thought he had a winger trailing on the short side, which if it was a Royals player, it wasn't a bad option. But
I wonder if Mr. Plowman was calling out, "Yes, Liam, hit me." Neville off top, quick hands through Robertson onto Toa, and here's Plowman, the pseudo winger for the Canberra Royals. Toa thumps that one downfield, finds some grass, awkward bounce. Caleb Piper. Another charge down, this time Dylan Shalita. Nyberg is being harangued by Mickelson. The other Mickelson's over the ball now. That's Chris, the second effort. Spencer Scott driving that one forward onto Oates. Thompson.
right out.
He looks up and his number 10, Torres, too far away, so he goes it himself. Jordan Thompson, good help from Lei Tuolungi. Robertson picks and goes. Met by a blue barricade. Plowman onto Van Neck. Van Neck strong through carry. Robertson, Toa, there's the crowd remonstrating.
Half-time.
Sam Toa just jots that one over the halfway line to make it half-time. Uni North Owls lead. I'm not going to say comfortably, but 19-7. Thoughts of the first half, Finley Doyle?
Yeah, it was a bit, very close half. I think great start by the Owls to come out to 2 tries up over Royals, but as we mentioned earlier, they just kept inviting Royals back into it a bit, not being able to take a clean kick off and exit on their own terms. So one here definitely far from over, and 12 points is just not enough against this Royals team.
Well, all across the John Ident Cup today, looks like a weekend of upsets. Wests are in front, Gungahlin are in front, Owls are in front. What a treat that'd be, a weekend of upsets.
Yeah.
Stick around for the second half on Bar TV. My name's Dave Reeson and you're with Finn Doyle. See you soon. Welcome back to the second half of this encounter between the Canberra Royals visiting the Uni North Owls at ANU North Oval. The score at half-time, if you've just joined us, is 19-7. But before that, let's get around the grounds because it could be a weekend of upsets.
Could be. Half-time over in West versus Queanbeyan. West are up 29-14. Queanbeyan just snuck a try in just before half-time. And in the Gungahlin-Tuggeranong game, we've got Gungahlin up 28-24 over the Vikings.
So Vikings fighting their way back into this one. The Canberra Royals are out on the paddock and pretty eager to put the first half behind them. They're in a position that they're not used to, Finn Doyle, because out come the Uni North Owls in what is a very pleasant Pacifica strip today.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I think it was designed by Siavi, Polly, a few of the Islander lads within the club, so they were very grateful, and it's very cool to be wearing a jersey that the lads are playing in and designed themselves.
And looking at the lineup straight away, I can see the imposing figure of Jack Debrasini in the number 22 jersey, and potentially Miller, Tau Ili Ili Pelasasa, who is on there in the number 19 jersey. Can't spy him at present. He might come off the bench for a snappy 30, perhaps.
Yeah. Coming back from injury is Miller, so...
Question for you, Finn Doyle, before we get the second half underway. Debrasini coming into 10, which is probably the likelihood that's going to happen, though I had the inside word on that. Will that disrupt or will that improve the play?
Oh, you'd like to think it would improve playing off a world-class professional 10. He gets an early touch here. No, I think it'll improve. Hopefully it frees up, your Tuolungis and Charlie and Issy out a bit wider. So fingers crossed it will improve. Obviously that puts Sam Toa into 12. So interesting to see how he goes after he's really found his form and found his feet at the 10 jersey there.
And Toa's held that number 10 spot for the whole season. That's why I'm querying that. Mickelson comes blasting through there and just fingertips that one away. That's Chris Mickelson, one of our 3 Owl try scorers for the first half. Reese Van Neck the other, and Charlie Crozier the third. Chase Oates the lone try scorer for the Canberra Royals. 19-7 scrum time. Packing down with Dan Nelson with the feed. And the scrums have been pretty even, I'd say, maybe just in favour of the Owls.
Yeah, maybe a little bit to the Owls, but no, they have been pretty even overall. A couple penalties both ways, so...
Putting in from Nelson. Referee Jark Smith getting the ball away. Neat ball to Myberg. Crashing through that line and onto the 10. Feathered on wonderfully by Lincoln Smith. Tom Isles has wiped his nose at half-time. From all that blood, it's gone forward. That's the worm over the top of that one. Crozier helping out terrifically there. Myberg drops that one. Mickelson picks it up. Is the number 2. Brought down well by McAnally. Izzy Bailey runs over that, and it's a penalty to the Owls. Chalita to Van Neck. Identifying Van Neck. Loopy pass to Sam Toa. Gets out of the tackle of Chase Oates. And into the corner. Sam Toa for the Uni North Owls. But let's come back to the Chris Mickelson bust through the middle.
Yeah, it might have been his brother Sam, but big lanky rower, but it was an absolute on the treadmill there by Miko, and did well not to, I suppose, push the pass, recycle, and then a great opportunity in playing off the cuff with the quick tap, and big Van Neck with the cut out the rainbow to Sam Toa.
Well, that was
well to beat the tackle of Oates.
Yeah, Dylan Shalita was the one that had the eyes up. And I wasn't thinking that Reese Van Neck would throw that beautiful, well-described rainbow ball over the top. But, gee, Sam Toa had to get through that Chase Oates tackle, and he did so. Justin, we mentioned that Sam needs to get a couple of meat pies for his point-scoring ability, and he's done so straight off the bat. Uni North Owls skip away. Kick to come, 24 points to 7 at the barn. Toa coming in after a pleasing run. He's struck that towards goal, and it's snuck over. Sam Toa is chasing down Cooper Jones. Look out, Queanbeyan Whites.
He's not going to die wondering. Great nudge from out wide. A couple of great conversions from both tens. From as far out wide as it could possibly get.
Well, that's 11 points today for S. Toa. That puts him within 10.
Within a sniff.
That's a big sniff. Caden Neville accepts that one. He's listened to the coach's instructions about catching the ball after the kick restart. Debrasini gets that one down to Sam Myberg and Chase Oates. Bringing this one back away from the big V of Sam Mickelson. Spencer Scott loping, gazelle-like on the left-hand edge. Bauer on inside ball. Good run from Fogarty. Royals looking menacing now. McLeod, they'll just need to hold it and be patient. Fogarty stamps that one on the ground. Darcy Fogarty. This is Heffernan having a turn. Loose skippy ball. Barrett. Laying that one back to Nelson. And to Bundy. They're all having a go. The entire forward pack for the Blue Baggers. Bauer on. They have gone backwards significantly after that loose ball to the right. Oates disrupted. Nelson behind, and that's Debrasini. Calm on the ball. Van Neck. Big left. Palm. Swaps the ball to the other side. Debrasini. Wobbly torp. Right down the zipper. Chase Oates. Up and under. They're letting it hit the ground, which is a mistake. Thompson clatters that one down field to Myberg. Myberg returns. Debrasini. Siding space down the left. Tuolangi. Big step off his left. Lei Tuolangi. Robertson. Mickelson. It's Chris Mickelson. Plowman, he's been busy today. Debrasini, quick ball out to Neville. Tuolangi needed to deliver it to Crozier, who was skirting that left-hand edge. Crozier sealing well. Debrasini on to Thompson. Toa lurking wide. In unfamiliar territory and position for him, and we've come all the way back. That's a long penalty advantage, Finn Doyle.
Yeah, very long, but good footy by the Owls there, building phases, getting through their work. Great option, lovely option from Debrasini to run that one back. He saw a couple of big piggies out here on the edge, and yeah, Tuolangi with a weak shoulder, and away they went.
Good hands from Caden Neville from that wobbly pass from Debrasini earlier in that passage of play.
spend $1 for a roll of more here, I reckon.
Up to McPherson. Al's getting busy. Working hard forward. Mickelson. Ball's been dropped. Plowman trickling that back to Robertson. Tuolangi. He's been good today, Tuolangi. They're looking towards the left, lining up. McPherson is eyeing the line, so is Debrasini. Debrasini is just twisted and turned, looked to pass, and then he's just jotted that down. Jack Debrasini. Going the short side has paid off in spades for the Union North Owls.
Now, they had the numbers there, and I thought it might have shifted Debrasini, but took the tackle and kept the legs pumping, and he was able to fall over on the try line. Great start to the second half for the Owls.
I think the Canberra Royals were potentially thinking he was going to get rid of that. So they just kind of, they didn't commit to the tackle. They were holding and then waiting to drift and take the outside man. But Debrasini just kept going with the tackler and eventually twisted and got it down. What do we have around the grounds, Finn Doyle, as Sam Toa eyes this one?
Yeah, this new look West Side is piling them on, 34-14 up over Queanbeyan.
Toa, he's punched that one just to the right-hand edge.
Vikings have pegged back Eagles as well, up 31-28. Close one there in Nichols.
This is certainly not the scoreline that I was anticipating as I drove towards ANU North today, Finn Doyle, but it's a pleasant one nonetheless.
Absolutely, yeah, I'd be lying if I said I was thinking this is going to come out.
They'll need to roll away. The Blue Bag is under that ball. Van Neck muscling that one forward. Thompson. It's been touched from Nelson. Myberg lost forward. Over the ball are the Owls, and they've got the penalty. That's Dylan Chalita over it. We had a charge down. That's the third, I think, today.
Yeah,
maybe
so.
fourth.
It was a bit unlucky there for the fullback, Myberg. He, obviously, with the charge down, it was bobbling around, and he had to attack it. Come off second best by the looks of it as well. I can see a bit of blood on his face.
Myberg's taken a knock to the temple. Probably just that eyebrow area that opens up particularly readily. Referee Jack Smith just holding the game up. Jimmy Plowman is just like a wildebeest, hunting around the pack there, looking busy.
He's a scary man, Jimbo.
Any other teachers in the Owls fraternity, or is it just Jay Plowman taking the chalk for the team?
Iggy, out injured at the moment. Iggy is a teacher. Released in training, I think. I think that might be it, though.
Owls lining up now, 31-7, they're up. Over the back, McPherson, nice ball to Debrasini, lost forward from Tuolangi, and McLeod accepts that gratefully. Good ball from Spencer Scott, playing the reluctant halfback. Nelson gets back to his position as Barrett forces his way up the field. Oates thumps that one. That's Thompson going back hard. Chasing. Get on his left peg and punt that out. Liam Barron throwing for the visitors. Fogarty strong at the front. Nelson. McLeod. Chalita brings him down on the bootlaces. Tom Isles. Good from Toa. That's look forward from Eye to Fogarty from Oates. Fogarty just keeps on rumbling it forward to the left there, aiming. McAnally. Nelson finding Barrett. Hitting the line hard. Short pass, sharp pass from the 9 to the 17.
Yeah, 17 Atta Missy on there for Heffernan in the front row.
Oates on to, that's a wonderful ball. That's just a terrific play from Chase Oates. McAnally was the receiver of that one. Easy as you like, 5-pointer.
Yeah, nice work down the short side by Oates. The 10 squared him up and threw a lovely face ball to McAnally, who scores in the corner. So a good response from Royals.
Not much that Va'ili could have done with that. Too rapid, too quick.
Couple more subs from both sides here. Ours bringing on number 17, Vatongi Murphy, and at 19, Miller Pelisasa. Great to see Miller back from injury, and Vatongi last week, who was absolutely dominant in the front row against the Eagles and at scrum time. And it looks to be Pedro Rolando is on, the veteran, in number 21 for the Royals in place of assumed number 9, Dan Nelson. Well, Nelson looks to be out there as well, so
that's an interesting change from Coach Joe Colo from the Royals, bringing Rolando on, looking to just get a bit of maybe a settling influence for the boys in blue. 31-14 is the score at ANU North. Jordan Thompson putting the ball high and up quickly is Crozier on McAnally. The last try scorer, McPherson, tries to pilfer, stripping that ball hard. Nelson on to Barron. Scott on his left-hand side. Back to Oates. Chase from McPherson. Toa. Into Scott. Sam Toa into contact is venomous. Van Neck. Debrasini. Good ball out the back to Va'ili. Va'ili on Rolando. Welcome back to first grade, says Izzy Va'ili. Debrasini does very well to let that one bump into his knees to collect.
could have easily been a knock on otherwise.
Good calmness on the ball from Debrasini.
Looks as though Rolando's on for the 15, Sam Mybro, who may have succumbed to that cut on his face.
And on the way through, Finn Doyle, as I was doing my preparations, saw Charlie Cale, who was one of the Owls' favourites, sitting on the sideline recovering.
Yeah, been a frustrating year for Charlie in the Brumbies. I'm sure he would have been up to be playing a lot more and in the mix, but I think he's had a niggling back injury that just hasn't seemed to go away, but he is definitely an Owls' favourite for sure.
enjoyed many a game where Billy Pollard and Charlie Cale has created havoc. Royals looking to work this one away from their attacking 22 or defence, their defensive 22. Owls countering and putting a lot of pressure on the visitors, so much so they've won the penalty.
Yeah, outstanding work, Chris Mickelson. He blitzed through, made the tackle straight to his feet and straight under the ball.
The referee, Jacques Smith, having words with Captain Smith. Smith was not sure about the call and he rightfully questioned it. Jordan Thompson rightfully puts it into touch. A try here, Finn Doyle, to the home side will be a bit of a death knell for the visitors. Let's see who rings the gong. Owls working forward to Alungi joining the fray. But Illy, also Robertson, they're marching, and they're in. The bell has been rung well and truly by the Uni North Owls. Plenty of pats. I'm not sure who came up with that 5-pointer in the end.
Essentially it was Chris Mick again at the back of the rolling maul. Seagulling a few, but a great rolling maul from the Owls. Set well again. Patient with the drive, moving forward. We've seen in rugby alone so much these days. If you can set a rolling maul 5 metres out and set it well, it's pretty hard not to score. So
we'll just confirm that try scorer in a moment, but let us take a look around the grounds at what could be a weekend of upsets. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Queanbeyan with an absolute comeback. Up by a point, 35-34 over the West. Lads out of Jamison there. They've had 3 tries in about 9 minutes to the Queanbeyan lads, and so a great comeback from them. That one's going down to the wire. And Vikings are pulling away from Eagles just a little bit, 38-28. Tries to Tuti.
Still plenty of time in all fixtures for results to go different ways. About 19 minutes to go. McPherson up strong. That's a good catch and carry. They're held up though. That's Spencer Scott doing the hard work there. McPherson trying to get his knees to the ground. And their long knees, but he's just not got there. Good effort from Spencer Scott and co.
Well done from the Royals. Great take from McPherson, but he's as soon as he's hit the deck, they've done really well just to hold him up there and get a scrum in the Owls half. So bit of field position for them, see what they can do with this. And definitely Chris Mick, who's picked up his second for the day, scoring off the back of that rolling maul just early for the Owls. As we see as well, a couple more subs for the Royals on in 20. Another veteran, Ben Johnston, on the right wing here. And it looks to be in 21 for the Owls warming up. Back up 9, Polly Crichton will be getting some minutes.
Ben Robertson must be playing some pretty good footy to keep Polynesia Crichton off the paddock. Big push from the Canberra Royals. Robertson spears that one out, but it's Too late. Royals looking to get back into the form that they've shown through the rest of these 10 rounds so far of the Ben Spoke John O'Dent Cup. Try here is just what's required for the visitors. Scott up hard and strong. They've got it now. They're being driven towards the line. Well kept in. Barron gets it back to Nelson. McLeod on Debrasini. Debrasini dragging McLeod to the ground. Barrett cutting back inside, heading towards the right and upright. Oates a little bit stagnant at the moment. Good defensive line from the Owls. Royals on the 22. Looks to the right, goes left. Still not cracking that advantage line of the visitors. Oates onto Barrett. That's the advantage line once again. They've hit it. Some Bobley still on the 22. Owls up in a very neat line. This is Oates. Just lost forward. Down the left-hand edge is McAnally screaming after that ball. Needed a better pass from Oates to hit the mark there.
Yeah, he did. Another great defensive set there from the Owls. I've been really impressed with their D today and been able to turn what is a pretty great attacking Royals team away time and time again. With only the 2 tries to the Royals at the moment. Still got a bit more work to do to get out of their own half here, but so far so good from an Owls perspective.
Tom Barrett comes off the paddock after his debut in first grade.
A few more changes for Royals up front. They've got 16 Cooper Eagle on, and at number 18 Big Sione Mao, as well as 23 on the side of the scrum. Josh Myborough has returned to the game as well in place of Tom Isles, I believe.
Sione Mao will put some pressure on the Owls front 3, no doubt. But the Owls front 3 have thought better of it, and they've punched their way through the heart of the Royals pack. Penalty time, Owls.
Big scrum, camped in your own half. Piggy stood up there.
Not the best of clearances, but good enough. McPherson out. Debrasini on. Miller Sasa lose that behind. This is McLeod. Little error, could be a sliding door moment as Oates takes it to the right-hand edge. It's Eagle. Myberg busting into McPherson. Nelson looking for runners who are stationary. Rolando out the back and ghosting through hard. Didn't quite execute that as well as they'd like.
No, they had a good set there, but unfortunately just went behind their own man. And I mean, it all happens in such quick and a split-second decision, but it's the right call by referee Smith. And the Owls get away with one. Good exit from Jordan Thompson here.
Dylan Shalita jogs off.
He's been summoned back in. He thought he had an early shower, but Captain Sam Mick has a breather. On there is Jasper Simmons and Polly Crichton.
Neville brought down by Bowron, but it's a short arm, not quite straight is the call. Oates goes quick to McLeod, brought down, good tackle, Toa. Bootlace, Oates again, hitting the 22. This has been the area of the field they can't really penetrate into. They are now through Fogarty. Eagle. Owls looking to defend through Palasasa. Oates short ball into McLeod was a tough one to take at pace, cutting inside. McLeod not happy with himself, but difficult ball there.
It was a tough one to take. He did pretty well, consider getting hit pretty much as he was going to catch the footy, but yet again, another great defensive stand there from the Owls. Shoulders on, so Royals are looking really good there with ball in hand as well, so they'll be frustrated, Royals, because they're just not quite executing those last little passes that have been, going well for them all year so far.
Owls with a sizable lead with 10 minutes to go, 36-14 at ANU North. Scrum collapses down, penalty goes the visitors' way.
Another scrum each way from referee Jacques. Their neck staying down after that one.
Let's get around the ground and see what is happening at this potential round of upsets, which has gone the opposite way.
It has Queanbeyan still with their nose in front, 35-34 over West at Jamison.
Tuia Lima has gone in, another Brumby player, and Kuku Salim another try to him. He's got a bunch
he has
on his name.
And over at Nichols, Vikings are pulling away even further against Eagles, 43-28.
Owls with their arms out, and that's why. You sort of sense when there's 4 or 5 of them with their arms saying, come on, give us something here, referee. And they got it right.
Great maul D from the Owls. That's a couple times now that they've held him out and managed to kind of sack it for a scrum, so they'll be very happy with that.
Some tired bodies out there now in the final passage of this fixture. Polynesia Crichton in the 21. Getting some dying minutes here, which looks like a improbable victory for the Owls on Pacifica Day. We spoke about the point scorers, Finn Doyle, but try scorers, Yolo Pisu. I know he's got one today. That puts him on 11. Chris Mickelson was on 8 at the start of today. Now he's on 10. Brad Henderson from the Eagles on 7. Jacob Church, Vikings, 7. Kuku Salim, I've seen him over on the line as well. That's put him up on 8 as well. So there's some movement on that ladder also, as there will be after today.
Yeah, a couple of front rowers and hookers especially leading the charge there. Come back to the point of the rolling wall, 5 metres out being so effective and hard to stop.
And the Lions have been very effective of that this year.
As we repack the scrum here at the barn, we have a lead change over at West versus Queanbeyan, with West scoring to Tavita Pausi, and they currently lead 41-35.
Pausi's been terrific this year for the Lions. Another scrum penalty goes the way of the Uni North pack. So we could have an upset at what I believe is Community Day out at Jamison Enclosed. Rolando gets to Oates. Oates eyes up, looks back inside and brings that to Nelson. Inside ball from Rolando to McLeod, looking for a tired body, only finds McPherson hunting for the ball. It's Smith getting it to the left. Bowron punching through there. McLeod, Oates, Mao leaves that one behind.
Yeah, great defensive stand again with ball going to ground from Royals. They'll be disappointed with the execution on a few of these opportunities that they've had within the Owls half, but as we see a couple of subs for the Owls with the Worm, Charlie Crozier coming off, as well as Chris Mick. That brings on Boston Moretti in the front row at hooker, and Big Siavi Seti on the left wing here in the 18 jersey.
Siavi coming back from injury as well. Played a bit of reserve grade today.
He did, yep. Played in the twos. Good to see him continuing to get some minutes into his legs.
That's a little bit lazy there from 9 to 10.
Obviously haven't played much footy together, if any. Polly and Debrasini there, but yeah, just execution out and timing out of the scrum.
Looked like Debrasini had given up on that one before the ball had actually reached him.
Potentially, yeah. Overrun it a little bit.
Minutes ticking away, an improbable victory looking probable. Nelson getting it onto Oates, and up quickly is Toa. Oates gets away from the Toa tackle. And another penalty goes the way of the Royals. Nelson quickly onto Goladek. Mao onto the 22. Rolando in and away, showing that. It's Neville catching Rolando high, and the advantage goes for the visitors. Legoladek on Smith, sneaky hands through Johnson, left behind. It's That's Caden Neville being caught in a high shot from Orlando, but once again, he'd have to be on his knees to catch him low. I'm a little bit unlucky for Neville.
Yeah, it's tough for the Brumbies boys as well, coming back to Clubland, where they've got the Sternum ruling.
Bauer on to Fogarty. Bauer has it back, working towards the line, twisting and turning. Goladek on to Fogarty. Royals pressing for the final say in this game. Owls' defensive line has been excellent all day, but not good enough because Chase Oates gets a great ball from the 9 of Dan Nelson and dots it over in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, good vision then from the 9. Nelson spotted Siavi just kind of angling in and jamming in, and unmarked Oates was absolutely drilled that from a drop kick.
Chase Oates didn't waste any time. He just tested the turf with a few bounces and then punted that one cleanly between the sticks.
I think the Owls will be in too much of a rush to get back and kick this ball off. It might be as the time ticks down. Got another sub for the Owls. Sterling Doyle looks to be at 15 there on for Jordan Thompson.
2 minutes to go is the call. 36-21 is the score. Toa into Johnson. That is pinpoint from Toa. Johnson does well to keep that in play and in train for his side. Scott, who's been working super hard all day. Oates onto Rolando. Smith scything through, needed to give that ball up to McAnally on his left, but held it instead. Lasasa picks that up and gives it back to the opposition instead. McLeod, chip and chase. McLeod goes again. It's a foot race. Toa on McLeod. 3 blue baggers hunting that one down. Tack like, and they've got it. Quickly from Nelson. Fogarty. They're all offside. A big advantage to the Royals. Rolando cuts back inside to Fogarty. Nelson to Smith.
Late surge here by the Royals.
Huge surge. We've got Oates first of all, and Smith second, and Oates second. Quick jinky drop goal. 14 points in probably 2 minutes.
If that, yeah. Chip and chase by the 12 McLeod. Found a bit of space in behind the Owls D line and kicked it through. Sam Toll did very well to clean it up, but fortunately Owls went down off their feet and just invited Royals back in.
Well, 3 chasing as a big pack. Difficult for Toa to do anything but that. Let's get around the grounds, Finn Doyle, before this ball gets kicked off. The Owls still in the lead, not by far now, 36-28.
Yeah, that one's shrunk. But West are growing their lead, though, 48-35 with a couple of minutes to go, looking like they'll be able to get the win. And Tuggeranong, 43-33. The Owls have just imploded a little bit here and switched off a little bit early with minutes to go. Dylan Schleter down with cramp. Poor Caden was about 3 metres offside there, and he's not very easy to, I suppose, hide.
Well, it's 8 points, the difference. Even a try here will keep them out of the game, but will give them a bonus point.
It will, yeah. They'll be pushing pretty hard for that, Royals. I think, based off the conversation between Oates and referee Smith, then maybe on last play here. So we'll see what comes of this.
Fogarty over the top. Royals coming through, looking for another try. Eagle, they're over the 22. They're starting to really find their feet and their work, and penalty time.
I'll take the 3 here, gift 3 to... I mean, they can't win the game, but they can definitely come away with something, a couple bonus points. Disappointed with the way they finished the game a little bit here. 5 minutes to go, the Owls. But overall, if you told me before 80 minutes ago that they were going to get a win, I'd be very, very happy. So a great day out.
Did the Owls drop off or did the Royals lift?
Probably a bit of both, to be honest, Dave, I reckon. The Royals definitely started throwing the ball around and switching it up a little bit, like we saw the chip and chase by McLeod.
The bonus point beckons for Oates, and he finds it. And that is the game, an unlikely victory for the Uni North Owls on Pacifica Day. They win 36-31. Who impressed you today?
From the Royals, I was really impressed with Oates at 5'8" there. A couple of lovely cutout balls set up. He scored 2 himself. Set up, yeah, a couple more as well on top of that. From the Owls, it was a really good team performance today. Defensively, they really dug in. But if I had to pick an individual, Chris Mick obviously scored 2 tries himself. And was very, very strong. And as well as Sam Tower as well, ever consistent. Consolidates the Owls into the top 4 with that win, so they'll be very happy to go back-to-back. First back-to-back wins of the season as well, in such a tight comp. It definitely goes a long way.
For me, pardon me.
Close finish over in Jamison, looking like West are going to get the Chocolates 48-42. They're currently up. Coco Salim with another try for Whites, though, and another try for Pisu, the hooker for West as well. And over at Nichols, it's looking like Vikings will get the W there, 43-33. They're currently up as well.
For me, Dan Nelson was very good, as is Sam Towan. Just had a
cough fit.
Pardon me.
You got through 80 minutes, Dave. It's at least it didn't happen in the first 5.
I might just wrap this up as quickly as I can, Finn Doyle. Thanks for your company today. Thanks to referee Jacques Smith. On camera, Justin Kampowski. Next week, I'm at Viking Park, Tuggeranong, playing Wests. My co-commentator, thanks Finn Doyle. My name's Dave Reeson. Bye for now.